Hello. I'm just out in my garden doing some prep work. I need to turn over a bunch of soil so that I can plant these pumpkins once they come up. But this is where I do most of my thinking. So I figured, why not bring my phone and rant to it when I take a break. So with the state everything's in, I have a very hardline position. So I don't care if you're a libertarian or a socialist, a constitutionalist, whatever, a fucking anarchist. If you believe in inalienable rights, transparency, accountability, and the right of the people to live free, then you belong in this conversation, and I want to know what you have to say about things. But I do need to be clear that if you believe yourself to be superior to others over superficial traits like race, gender identity, sexuality, or faith, or if you subscribe to the idea that a peaceful, law-abiding, contributing member of society can be illegal in any way that justifies what is happening right now to immigrants in our nation, you do not belong in this conversation. Nor will I ever give you or your opinions any consideration, because your positions are fundamentally incompatible with a peaceful life that follows the United States founding documents. The moment you try to strip rights from other people, you shatter the very foundation that our entire nation is built on. And I will do absolutely everything within my power to make sure that that never happens. So I forgot to record multiple follow-up thoughts while I was outside. So I'm just going to do it now, because the things I was talking about are happening right now. Like, they are already happening, and they're going to continue to happen until we, the people, do something about it. And so, since it has already happened, I also intend to do everything within my power to make sure the people who are responsible for it are held to account, as prescribed by our founding documents. And if you continue to watch my content, you're going to hear me say some things that are going to seem extreme, I'm sure. But nothing I say is out of hatred or vengeance. It is purely out of intent to uphold our Constitution. It is inarguable that Trump and his entire regime are guilty of constitutional treason, because since they began defying a 9-0 SCOTUS ruling against them, I mean, it's inarguable. And it has only gotten worse since then, because not only once they moved to obey that order, they made a mockery of what they were told to do. Instead of, it was implied, presumably to any reasonable person, that they meant for Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be brought home to the United States, and for the violations against his rights to be corrected. And for that to happen, he would have to be released entirely to go home, free from the violence of the state. He cannot be made whole until that happens. And so, since that moment, anything this regime has put forward, any legislation they've put forward, anything that has changed since that moment are all invalid. Like, no matter anything else. And while I'm here, I do want to be clear that when I talk about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, I am talking about him specifically, but I am also talking about every single individual whose abduction was not facilitated by unmasked agents who properly identified themselves and were able, or at least in possession of a signed judicial warrant. And they can prove that they were in possession of a signed judicial warrant. Anyone who is abducted under those circumstances had their constitutional rights violated. Under those circumstances, it is an abduction and not an apprehension. I don't even care if the person in question was a gang member or a rapist or a murderer, because those people also deserve due process. And I'm not arguing that they deserve due process because they're good people. I'm arguing that they deserve due process because them getting due process is what enables us to make sure that everyone gets due process. Everyone gets due process. Period. If you agree with me, hit the buttons, I guess.